Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander's Core studio. Welcome to the show. So on today's episode, well, I've got a very exciting thing for you because this Lorwyn Eclipsed leak is absolutely insane for Commander. Let's jump into it. And a reminder that when it comes to leaks, they are not officially approved, and we do not know if it's 100%, actually real. It could be fake, but 99.9% of the time it seems that these are actually real cards, and this one does seem very real. And just to make this a little bit easier to actually read, here we go. I got a actual, custom version of the card, utilizing the exact same words, obviously. Marilyn Fae Ascendant is a potentially amazing commander. A 4/5 elf fairy noble with flying for 5 mana in Sultai. That's right, an elf in Sultai. And kind of the, brand new potential giant elf fairy commander. First one, I guess, really. Anyways, whenever Marilyn or another elf or fairy you control enters, exile the top 2 cards of target opponent's library. Once each turn, you may cast a spell with mana value less than or equal to the number of elves and fairies you control from among cards exiled Marilyn this turn without paying its mana cost. An insanely powerful card. One that says, hey, you know what? We're going to combine already one of the most popular tribes out there, one of the most supported tribes out there, and we're going to give you an additional tribe, essentially. We are going to give you fairies as well, which is a decently supported tribe as well, and does have its own tribal commanders. So this is a commander that can utilize, again, a lot of different elements of 2 different tribes, and again, a lot of powerful colors. Again, potentially the 3 most powerful color combination in Commander in Sultai, to a very, 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 very powerful, effect. This is one that, again, does say, hey, you know what? You are going to be getting elves and fairies into play. There are a lot of low-to-the-ground elves and fairies. There's also a lot of ways to make tokens as well to get a lot of those. And, of course, ways to get them on your opponent's turns as well. Maybe some blink spells, too. Because, essentially, again, once each turn, you can cast a spell for free equal to the number of elves and fairies. That's not going to be that much restriction. At a certain point, you're going to have an absurd amount of them. That being said, it has to be one that's exiled Marilyn this turn. It has to be, again, this turn, meaning that you can't just have this stockpile of exiled cards that you just keep getting more and more things from. It is just, turn-based, essentially, where you are getting, hey, you know what? Cards exiled this turn. This is your new stockpile of cards that you can utilize. That being said, again, it is once each turn, meaning that it can happen on your opponent's turns as well, which is pretty insane. Being able to get free value off of their turns as well. You need, obviously, like flash cards or cards that have, instant speed, essentially, right? To be able to get that effect. But obviously, if you pick the right opponent, you're going to be getting that too. Regardless, even if it's just on your turn, you're going to be getting an insane amount of value from this. A lot of support for this one, again, being both elves and fairies. And again, a great 3-color combination. A lot of free value. This one's going to be incredibly popular, again, if it's real. Again, keep that in mind. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. That being said, check out that card list link in the description below. Maybe once this is approved by Wizards, they actually put the real spoiler out, essentially, then we can say, you know what, maybe pick up some of those cards, maybe pick up some of these budget buys, the pricier picks I'm going to bring up right now that work incredibly well with this one. First up, let's start with the budget buys. Some great cards to pick up, including Elvish Warmaster, which is a great one to choose for this one. A low-to-the-ground elf itself, a 2/2 elf warrior for 2 mana in green. It also says, though, whenever one or more other elves you control enter the battlefield under control, create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token. It triggers only once each turn. Again, go wide is the name of the game for this commander. Again, the more elves and more fairies you have in play, the bigger spells you can cast for free. And also, again, by just getting an extra trigger, again, getting an extra elf in play, that makes it so you're milling even more cards, essentially. So being able to get more elves in play means even more elves and more cards for free. What's not to love about that? And on top of that, yeah, with a lot of mana, you can pump your team. Again, elves you control get +2/+2, gain death touch until turn for 7 mana in green. You're in green, you got plenty of ways to ramp. You can pay that, and you can get some really cool effects. How about Prowess of the Fair, though? Tribal enchantment elf for 2 mana in black. Whenever their elf, non-token elf, I should say, is put in your graveyard from the battlefield, you may create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token. Yeah, it needs to specify non-token there, or that'd be broken. Essentially, with this one, this is replacing your non-token elves when they die, which is great. And of course, this is something that can trigger on an opponent's turn. Again, if one of your creatures, gets taken out, if you block or whatnot, it gets taken out in combat, cool, you get to replace it. and you get that trigger off of your commander. You get to go, okay, milieu. Oh, I hit something I can utilize? Cool, I'm going to be able to cast that now for free. Speaking of that, instant speed, Elven Ambush, 4 mana in green. Create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token for each elf you control. I mean, double up your elf army. That is absolutely crazy. You're going to be, exiling a ton of things off the top of an opponent's library. And, of course, making it so that you can pretty much cast anything, again, mana value-wise, with the number of elves and fairies you have in play. And yes, again, on an opponent's turn, you're going to be getting access to their cards and potentially be able to play one as well. Daunting Knight Minister helps out in a different way. Again, not an elf or a fairy, an Aetherborn Rogue. A 3/4 for 4 mana in black. Says whenever a player casts a spell they don't own, that player creates a treasure token. That is absolutely massive. Again, you're going to be getting a lot of value off of your opponent's libraries, off of their, exiled cards that you're just stealing. And now you're going to be playing those cards for free. And with those free plays, you're also now getting a treasure token. So you're actually, temporarily ramping essentially by casting your opponent's things for free. Absolutely crazy. On top of that, your creature deals damage to one of your opponents, combat damage, I should say. Control looks at the top card of that opponent's library and exiles it face down. They may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. Made of any type we expect to cast the spell this way. Yeah, basically, again, you've got a go-wide strategy. You've got a really large army. You're going to be able to get creatures through, and you can also take advantage of this, too, for some extra ways to steal your opponent's things. Then we've got Liz Alana Huntmaster, a 3/3 elf warrior for 4 mana in green. They're casting an spell. You may put a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token onto the battlefield. Again, yet another way to go even wider, even quicker. Casting your elves gives you more elves. What's not to love about that? Notorious Throng, such a cool card. Tribal Sorcery Rogue for 4 mana in blue, but it's got a prowl cost of 6, so you can play it for its prowl cost if you don't combinate with a player with a rogue, and there's a lot of fairy rogues that you can have. You put X 1/1 black fairy rogue creature tokens of flying into play where X the damage dealt to your opponents this turn. If its prowl cost was paid, take an extra turn after this one. So this is a potential extra turn spell that gets you a lot of fairies as well, a lot of evasive fairies as well. It is such a good card that can give you so much value. Yeah, you're going to love this one in this kind of a deck. Garrick the Desecrated or like Panharmonicon, those types of cards obviously can be great with this as well. Who thought that in a fairy elf deck you'd be able to play a, Sultai card, but here we are. A 3/5 elemental for 5 mana in Sultai, Death Touch Lifelink. If a permanent entering causes a triggered ability, a permanent you control to trigger, triggers additional time. Basically, this allows you to double up on that exile. Again, you have those elves or those fairies coming into play, double up in the exile, make it so you have access to even more cards that you can then play for free and just hang over the heads of your opponents and be like, oh yeah, look at all these cards I have. Oh cool, oh that's a nice one. All right, I'm going to use that now and dominate you with your own cards. But now let's move on to the pricier picks, and you knew it was going to happen, but Bitter Blossom, yeah, it's an expensive card. It's a very good card, and it is a card that, well, it can be great with this new commander, of course. A Tribal Enchantment Fairy for 2 mana in black. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life, and you create a 1/1 Black Fairy Rogue creature token with flying. Yeah, being able to just make an army of fairies over time very cheaply. Again, a low-to-the-ground enchantment, just 2 mana that gets you a free evasive token each turn that, again, triggers your commander and makes it so that you have an even wider army that lets you cast even bigger spells. Yeah, that's going to be very good. And again, yes, there's a life loss component to this, but you're in commander. That's 1/40 of your life total each turn. You're going to be fine. Yeah, this is a great card. Again, it's just an army in a bottle, essentially, that just gives you so much value over time. Is a great one to have. Alayla Cunning Conqueror can be great too. A 2/4 Fairy Warlock with flying for 4 mana in Dimir. Whenever you cast your first spell during each opponent's turn, create a 1/1 Black Fairy Rogue creature token with flying. Whenever one or more of your fairies deal combat damage to a player, go to a creature that player controls. This is such a good card. Again, this is kind of where you can really lean into, again, previous commanders that are either for fairies or for elves and basically go, hey, you know what? We have a new home for basically all of you, the ones that work really well with this commander, and this one definitely does. If you are casting spells during your opponent's turn, again, instant speed spells, maybe spells that you stole from them already, now all of a sudden you are able to get even more creatures on their turn. But yeah, being able to go, okay, I cast an instant speed spell, cool, yeah, I exile some of your cards, oh awesome, I have a card that I can play off of that, I get to play that now for free. Lovely. So much extra value, again, helping you go even wider and helping you control the board again by goading creatures, such a good effect. How about Caladrim Ambush, though? An instant for 4 mana in green. Create X 1/1 green elf warrior creature tokens for X the number of attacking creatures. Prevent all combat damage to be dealt this turn by non-elf creatures. Again, instant speed, so you can just on opponent's turn, giving you a free spell potentially on their turn as well. A great way to just fog the board essentially and say, hey, you know what? Yeah, your combat damage doesn't matter, but mine does this turn, at least for my, again, elves. So your fairies are blanked. That's okay, though. but your elves can still dish out that damage. It's a great way to, again, go super wide, super quickly, and also really turn the tides in a battle too. And actually, you can really do this on your own turn as well if you really want to. It can be a good effect to just go, okay, you know, I'm just going to double up my army and make it so that my elves are surviving in combat too. Wolverine Riders, though, a great one that essentially says, hey, you know what we're going to be doing? We're going to be making elf after elf after elf after elf and gaining so much life throughout the game too. A 4/4 elf warrior for 6 mana in green. You can have each upkeep, not just your own, create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token. Whenever their elf enters the battlefield or control, you gain life equal to its toughness. Yeah, so again, on every single upkeep, not just your own, you are getting a token, meaning that your commander is triggering on every single upkeep as well, which is insanely powerful, getting so much value, again, giving you access to so many things. Obviously, some token doubling could actually help as well with any of these cards. I probably should have brought that up too, but yeah, doubling season. But yeah, think about that with this too. Doubling season, good card. Who knew? Anyways, also being able to pad your life total, though, by being able to gain equal to toughness. Yeah, that is going to be a good way to just go, you know what? I'm going to just, cancel out the Bitter Blossom loss, essentially, and then some. But still being able to essentially go, hey, you know what? Pad the life total, go wide so I can get access to even more cards. And again, keep getting access to the top of my opponent's libraries as well. Again, this new commander, if it is real, again, keep that in mind. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. It does appear to be real, but it's not officially confirmed yet. Has a lot of potential, especially for cards like this that can really help out on that, you know, again, Elf Tribal, again, Fairy Tribal, combination of the two. Again, commanders previously. It is a great, great new commander for a lot of opportunities, a lot of strategies. It's going to be a lot of fun. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. Make sure you comment below with your thoughts on it. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.